Last week on Tumblr I got a message saying, could you do a book tour on a video? So this is that. Here atop my chest of drawers I have all my course books which are still useful to me. So I have a lot of Sartre, Flaubert, a few assorted linguistics books, also ukulele, which my sister is determined to teach me and which so far I have failed at miserably. On the other side of my bookshelf we have books I have been intending to read for a while. David Starkey, who is a horrible guy but a fairly good historian. More Tudor Stuarty stuff. Harry Potter à l'école des sorciers, because I figure I should actually read this in French rather than just using it as a teaching tool. And Jasper Fforde, who was recommended to me by a friend, and I bought this in a closing down book sale and just haven't read it. On the top shelf we have entirely Doctor Who books. I used to buy all of them and then I realised that I would run out of space in the house eventually. Moving down a shelf, these are the big books which don't fit anywhere else. So you've got Wicked the Grimmery there. I'm a big Wicked fan, I've seen it 7 times in the West End. You've also got some TV based books, so I've got The World of Downton Abbey and the Doctor Who The Inside Story, Doctor Who Calling the Shots, Doctor Who The Writer's Tale, 2 versions thereof. It's my favourite non-fiction book, and everybody who's interested in how TV works, how script writing works, should read it. On the other side of the photo we have various linguisticy sort of books and a script, is that? No, that is a copy of Senza Sangue, which I studied at A-level and photocopied the whole book rather than actually buy it, because it was cheaper, believe it or not. That's not a recommendation. I really didn't like Senza Sangue. I thought the ending was a right cop-out. Hiding behind the picture we have a Latin dictionary, which I've never used, Dangerous Liaisons, which I did read in French, but understood much better in English. John Green books, which aren't actually hiding, that's just where they happen to live. And my French copy of the Twilight Saga. I was a massive Twilight fan when I was 13. Sorry, I recognise the error of my ways, but I still maintain that reading it in French and later Italian was actually a really good decision. It helped my French immensely. Moving down a shelf, this was originally going to be a YA shelf, so you've got things like Philip Pullman, the Sally Lockhart series, Anne of Green Gables, Maureen Johnson over there. But then other stuff sort of started to come in, so over here you have more French books which are now no longer relevant to my course. Harry A History by Melissa Anelli. A history of the Harry Potter fandom, essentially, which is fascinating. Dorothy Koomson is one of my favourite chick lit authors. Really quite heart-wrenching stuff, but it's generally very interesting and raises interesting social issues. Next shelf. This is my Tudor shelf, plus a French dictionary, because you can never have too many French dictionaries. But other than that, this shelf is entirely devoted to the Tudors. I love the Tudors. I'm one of those annoying people who in year 8 started to argue with my history teacher, who was in fact a geography teacher. This is a mixture of fiction and non-fiction. Philippa Gregory is sort of the most famous, I'd say, historical fiction writer about the Tudors. I first read The Other Boleyn Girl when I was about, I don't know, 10, 11, which was probably too young, but I was always reading things which are too old for me. It's really historically inaccurate, but it got me interested in the period, so I will forever love it. This was the first proper long non-fiction book I read, which is Alison Weir, The Lady in the Tower. It's about the fall of Anne Boleyn, as you can tell. Seriously, it's highly likely that I will eventually make a video about whether or not I think Anne Boleyn was guilty, and if so, what of. So, yeah. You can keep that in the back of your minds if you want. So down here we have a few Doctor Who DVDs which didn't fit in my drawers. This is my script collection, or most of it, because I did a lot of Amdram when I was still living at home full time. I also did drama GCSE. I like plays. Favourite Shakespeare? Much Ado About Nothing. I'm so pissed off that the Joss Whedon film is not coming to a cinema near me, so I'm gonna have to wait for it to come out on DVD. Hiding behind my clapperboard we have miscellanea, really. We've got a couple more Tudor books because I couldn't fit them. A couple of Carol Ann Duffy anthologies. P.S. I Love You, the book is better than the film. For some reason I thought it was a good idea to put C.S. Lewis next to Philip Pullman. And then over here we have Shakespeare's sonnets, more Philippa Gregory, and a Doctor Who encyclopedia, which you can probably only just see there. So that's a quick tour of my bookshelf. There are quite a few things missing from here, which I'm only really just noticing. For example, the His Dark Materials trilogy by Philip Pullman, also the Abhorsen trilogy, what's it called, the Old Kingdom trilogy by Garth. I'm fairly sure I will find those on my sister's bookshelf. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed my book tour thing, and I will see you next time when I will probably be prancing around looking like an idiot. Always good.